and welcome back to the Akashic Almanac Guidance from Within podcast, bridging the seen and unseen worlds of our reality. I'm your host and friend, Brittany Woods. I'm excited for this show. Today we're going to talk about the Akashic Records. We're going to delve into what they are, questions you may be having, resources that you can look into to help answer some of those questions. And I will also be including an Akashic record reading specifically for this episode at the end. So stay tuned, and if you like what you hear, please share and subscribe. The Akashic Records are known as a book of life your soul has, and it records every thought, action, experience from past lives, the life you're living now, future lives. And how is this possible? So first, it's important to understand that your soul has had many lives and will probably continue to reincarnate as humanity moves forward towards spiritual enlightenment. The Akashic Records are a way to keep track of the experiences your soul goes through as it lives out its many lives. As you can probably tell, there are a lot of things you may experience, not just in one day, but in a lifetime. So we need some way to keep it all organized and filed for future use. When accessing your records, you can ask questions such as, what is my life's purpose? What am I here to learn? How can I heal my physical ailments? Should I make the move? What career paths would serve my highest good? So questions like that. And it's important to note that time does not exist within the Akashic Records because all time is happening at the same time. It's an illusion, if you will. We can ask questions about past and future lives because time is all happening at once. When I personally channel someone's records, I fully trust that the information being brought forward by the lords or protectors of the records is exactly what someone is ready to hear and receive. I will not receive any information that is not meant to come forward at that time. The messages that come forward, they come as visions. I see words. It's basically like a movie that plays out in my head with a lot of emotion behind the movie, and then I can communicate that to the person, to my client, the person that I'm reading the records for. There are many, many different ways to access the records. I personally use the pathway prayer process developed by Dr. Linda Howe. What is the difference between an intuitive reading and an Akashic record reading? So an intuitive reading is often a person using, let's say, tarot cards or just going off the energetic connection that they make between a client and themselves. So an intuitive reader may be accessing your Akashic records without even knowing that they're doing it to provide answers. They may use personal objects of yours to hold on to read the energy of. They talk to your guides or loved ones who have passed, so I call it your spirit team, on the other side to relay information. I, however, say a specific prayer to access your book of life. It's just what works with me. There are many different styles. And you might be thinking at this point, what are spirit guides? What is your spirit team? They can be your animal totem. They can be friends who you knew in past lives who have stayed on the other side to help you through your current life. They can be angels, and I personally believe we all have more than one spirit guide, and they change throughout life depending on what we're going through, and I also believe that we each have a guardian angel. Spirit guides can be mystical beings, beings from a higher plane of spiritual consciousness, like ascended masters, and I believe they can change during a lifetime depending on where a person is at during their spiritual path. So what are ascended masters? To name a few well-known, Jesus, who may have also been known through the name Yeshua, Buddha, Krishna, Saint Germain, Kuthumi, Mother Mary, Moses, Kuan Yin, Leonardo da Vinci, Vishnu, Saint Francis, Isis of Egypt, El Moria, and many others. They are enlightened souls who have had lives on Earth and now help the souls on Earth evolve from the other side. So I will go into more detail on Ascended Masters in a later podcast, but I think this is a good start. If you want to do some studying, I would recommend reading How to Read the Akashic Records, The Light Shall Set You Free, and any work from Edgar Cayce. Cayce is known as the Sleeping Prophet and the father of holistic medicine. He lived in the late 1800s until 1945 and is the most documented psychic of the 20th century. Cayce, for over 40 years, would go into an unconscious state to access the Akashic Records for someone. He would get answers to questions about health, past lives, life purpose, and more. He channeled many messages from this universal consciousness, which, by the way, we all have access to, on topics like ancient Egypt and what to expect for the future of humanity. So please research this if you want more information. There's so much out there about Edgar Cayce and his prophecies. You can find YouTube videos about him and his divine channelings and messages for the world. I understand that there was a lot of information covered in the first part of this podcast. If you want to re-listen to it, maybe take time to research some of the things that I said, go ahead. This next part is going to be a channeling from my own Akashic Records. So what I would like to do is say the pathway prayer process, accessing my own Akashic Records. And what I'm going to do is then ask my spirit team to bring forth a message for you. Yes, you listening to this podcast. So whoever you are, whoever's listening, this truly, truly is for you. I have now grounded, cleared my energy, and we're going to say the prayer. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, protect me from all forms of self-centeredness and direct my attention to the work at hand. Help me to know myself in the light of the Akashic Records, to see myself through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the Masters, teachers, and loved ones have for me. Help me to know Brittany Denise Woods in the light of the Akashic Records, to see Brittany Denise Woods through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the Masters, teachers, and loved ones of Brittany Denise Woods have for her. Help me to know Brittany Denise Woods in the light of the Akashic Records, to see Brittany Denise Woods through the eyes of the Lords of the Records, and enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the Masters, teachers, and loved ones of Brittany Denise Woods have for her. The records are now open. I ask my team that a message come through for every listener of this podcast. Amazingly, that time does not exist. The Lords already know who will be listening to this podcast. There is a seeking inside of you that is unfolding through many, many layers outside of space and time. There's a call home that your inner compass is guiding you to find. You're seeking, you're questioning. Many of you can no longer accept that what you have been told about the truth of your reality, you can no longer accept what you have been told about the truth of your reality. In saying this, we want you to know you are seeking your own truth, your own perception of what it means to be human, what it means to draw breath into the body, and what it means to be of earth. You are no longer living by the rules or expectations that have been set for you to follow. As you and humanity evolves on this spiritual quest to be reunited with the one consciousness, unity consciousness, you now will find your own way by listening to the guidance that comes from within. Where is this guidance rooted? It is rooted in your heart's longing, your heart's desires, your heart's passion. Have you ever sat in the energy of your heart and asked yourself what you truly want out of life? If the answer is yes, create goals and act on it, because now is the time to act on what you want for your reality. If the answer is no, we ask you to do this. We are all human co-creating the life and the experience that we collectively share every day. It is now time to create a world in which we are all in unison and we are all creating for the higher purpose, for the highest good of humanity. And where does that start? It starts by you sitting with your heart and asking what you want for your life. We of the Akashic Records understand that many of you are confused. Many of you feel a longing to something greater. Many of you are questioning, what is truth? What is your truth? We want you to know that it is real. What you want is real. We are real. You too have this connection within you to go to at any time. Meditate, breath work, movement, eating whole foods. These are all gateways to you raising your vibration to bring you closer to your highest self. The spiritual path is unfolding before you, and you are being called to honor it. Honor your purpose. Honor your divine right to create the life you wish to live. If you are having thoughts about things you wish to see change in the world, things you wish to create in the world, do not overlook them. Act on them. Because that is how we, as a humanity, come one step closer to materializing the world we wish to live in. Do not doubt yourself. Do not underestimate the power you have within to change your life and to help others along the way. You are seeking. You have questions. You are on the path and continue. We assure you that whenever you think you've found the answer, whenever you think you've got it right, there is always more and more to discover. There's always more and more and more to learn. And in saying more to learn, the science that you have created for today is not yet finished exploring and finding answers to the universal truths that we actually live by, that your soul lives by. Modern technology, modern science will catch up with modern spirituality, but the two go hand in hand. So keep seeking, keep asking questions, keep listening to this compass that you possess within you. We are the lords of the Akashic Records. We are very much a part of Brittany's spiritual team. And we are very much a part of what she wishes to share with you as an individual, but also for the collective human consciousness. Go in peace. Create peace for yourself and for the world that you wish to live in. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the lords of the Akashic Records for their point of view. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are not closed, amen. The records are not closed, amen. The records are not closed, amen. Okay, so I've just recorded the Akashic Record reading for this episode, and I have to say I had no idea. I had no idea at all what was going to come through the records. But I'm constantly amazed. And as soon as I close the records, which was 2 seconds ago, I actually have to re-listen because I don't remember half of what's come through. So I have to myself re-listen. I know it was powerful. I know how powerful that this is. So thank you for listening. Take your time, re-listen if you want. Reach out to me at theakashikalmanac.com, the Akashic Almanac on Instagram. Brittany Woods is my Facebook. Reach out to me and let me know what you think. Let me know how this has resonated with you. I want to hear your feedback, and I want to open up a conversation because that's how we move forward. We talk about it. We relate to each other. We have these conversations. Okay. I'm re-listening. I'm going to do what you're doing. I'm going to re-listen to this podcast, to this message, and just take it all in. Whatever resonates with you, remember it, take notes, and if it doesn't resonate with you, then it may be not meant for you right now, and that is okay. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to learn more, please reach out to me, my website, theakashikalmanac.com. If you want a personalized Akashic record reading just for you, I am currently accepting donations for an hour-long reading. Reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. Again, if you liked what you heard, please share and subscribe. Have a beautiful day.